அதெல்லாம் எங்க மாமா ஆபீஸ்ல இருந்து நாங்க எடுப்பேன். ஓகே சார். வாங்க சார். ஜாயின் பண்ணிடுங்க சார். Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, you need to unmute, sir.
Yes. Am I audible now? Shall I share the screen?
Sir, okay, sir.
Okay. I'll share the screen.
சார் வாங்க. சார் வாங்க சார். வாங்க, நீங்க தான் மீட்டிங்ல மெயினா நான். வாங்க சார்.
The screen visible, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
சொல்லுப்பா. ஹலோ. ஏன் நான் சொல்லிக்கிட்டோம். ஓகே, நான் பாக்குறேன் கொஞ்ச நேரம். இதுதான் எல்லாரும் வராங்க. சிவசங்கர்.
Hello.
இப்ப நல்லா தெரியும் தம்பி. தம்பி இது எத்தனை பேர் சேர்ந்துருக்காங்க? என்ன அப்படின்னா ஒரு 5 minutes வெயிட் பண்ணலாமா? ரைட், ஓகே. அதான் இப்போ 2:27 தான் ஆகுது. நான் 2:30 நான் டிக்ளேர் பண்றேன். மீட்டிங் வில் ஸ்டார்ட் இன் another 5 minutes சொல்லிக்கிறேன். ஓகே. சரி.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, fellow foundrymen. Please wait for another 5 minutes. We are waiting for more gatherings. Then we will start the meeting in another 5 minutes. Now the time is 2:30. We will start the meeting by 2:35. Thank you. Viswanathan sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Fine, sir.
Fine, good, good. At the end of the session, I will talk to you, sir, please.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, we'll start the session in another 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, person. Hello. Okay, one. Good afternoon, fellow foundrymen. Just now we are going to start the meeting. I personally welcome the speaker, Mr. N. Viswanathan, who is a stalwart in that field. And I also welcome the Chennai chapter chairman and the secretary, the chairman, Mr. Vignesh Ramanan, and Rajmogan Madhyalagan for this virtual meeting. And it is for all the members, it is a great pleasure to announce that this is the 8th meeting we are conducting consecutively on 4th Friday of every month by 2:30 p.m. And today we have taken a special topic. Or so far we conducted the meeting on a technical paper, but this time we want to go for a common paper which can be used by or useful to all the fellow foundrymen. It is nothing other than handling emotions, a colored brain. I don't want to get into the topic, but I am having a great pleasure in introducing Mr. V Viswanathan, who is a seasoned corporate trainer, consultant, author, and a visiting faculty for B schools. He is a deep passion for empowering entrepreneurs, corporate professionals, and students through training, coaching, and knowledge sharing. With a wealth of expertise and certifications in various domains, he consistently delivers high-impact programs that derive personal and professional growth. Mr. Viswanathan is a DC psychology certified trainer and also a master behavioral skill trainer certified by the Carlton Advanced Management Institute and Middle Earth HR, further enhancing his training capabilities. Viswanathan holds a PMP, Project Management Professional, certification from PMI USA and a CAI SCMP. Additionally, he has a master diploma in training and is a certified NLP and EQ practitioner. His academic background includes a postgraduate degree in management and a graduate degree in engineering from the University of Madras. With over 3 decades of senior level experience in renowned organizations such as SPIC, Reliance Energy, L&T, RAECO, and Zawavi PowerTech Engineering LLC, both in India and in Sultanate of Oman. Viswanathan has honed his skills in diverse professional settings. Viswanathan has conducted numerous impactful training programs for entrepreneurs, corporates, and students, both online and offline. He has had a privilege of conducting training for esteemed organizations like SPIC Group companies, CTEX Petrochemicals, THG, the Hindu Group Newspaper Group, NLC, Andaman Lakshadweep and Harbour Works, Ministry of Shipping, then a Genesis Technologies, and the list is going on like anything, and it will take more time to complete his what you call success stories. Viswanathan has also conducted specialized programs for MSME entrepreneurs in collaboration with the Indian Bank and Union Bank. The sessions include modules on managing people, strategic thinking, managing finance, communications management, change management, innovations, and risk management. In addition to this training engagements, Viswanathan serves as a visiting faculty member at IIKM Business School, Chennai. He was a faculty in ITM B schools. He is the co-author of the book Turning Points, Management Lessons from Legends, and MMA publication, and this was very well appreciated by all the entrepreneurs. He is also the author of the books An Impish Grandpa, a collection of humorous articles, and Beneath the Bush, short stories and reflections. With a commitment to continuous learning and a track record of delivering impactful training programs, Viswanathan is dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations, enabling them to reach their fullest potential and gain functional freedom. With this brief introduction about Mr. Viswanathan, I am leaving the floor to him. Now the floor is yours, sir. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dayalan. Good afternoon, all the members of Institute of Indian Foundrymen, the Chennai chapter chairman, and Mr. Shivashankar and Mr. Dayalan, who have been coordinating.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Audible? Am I audible?
Sir, please continue.
Yeah. Okay. So many thanks to Mr. Dayalan and Mr. Shivashankar for coordinating for this program. So once again, warm welcome to all the members from the Foundry fraternity. Yeah, so today's topic, as Mr. Dayalan introduced, it is basically colored brain communication. That is what we are going to see. And using that, how we can also do emotional management. So emotional intelligence. So a combination of emotions and colored brain. That's what we are going to see today. So before we deep dive into the subject, I would like to ask you to take your piece of paper and then draw a triangle with your pen, pencil, or whatever you have. You can just draw a triangle. Maybe you can take about 30 seconds. And if you have drawn, we will move to the next one. Yeah. Okay, now I presume that you have all drawn the triangle. Now next is again take about 20 seconds, and now you have to fill the triangle as fast as you can. So you have to fill the triangle as fast as you can in 20 seconds. Done. Okay, we'll stop here. and let's see how you have done. So I think now the triangle on the left-hand side, I think most of you would have drawn the triangle like this shape, correct? This is the standard shape. But my question is, how many of you have drawn the inverted triangle? So when we say triangle, we generally, our mind tends to think of it as the normal standard triangle. Nobody thinks of a inverted triangle, or a sideways triangle is also possible. A triangle facing right hand side, triangle facing left hand side, fine. But just to trigger your thinking process, if you have drawn inverted and all, yes, fine. But generally we tend to do the conventional one. Now the second question is, I was asking you to fill it as fast as you can. So most of you, I presume, would have filled the triangle within the triangle, right? So, but you could have also done like this, because you can just scribble outside and then cover the entire triangle, because what I said is that you have to fill the triangle. But when I say fill the triangle, our mind automatically limits us to the boundary within the triangle. But nobody said that you have to draw within the triangle. I only said fill the triangle. But what happens is that our mind takes our mind draws some assumptions, and we work within those assumptions. So these assumptions are, how do we build these assumptions? So what are your assumptions? So we may have, each of us may have many assumptions. And how do all these assumptions come? It is because of many factors, because of the way we have moved with others, the way many of those things, some of them from genetic, some of them from the interactions with people. So throughout our life, we have gathered many assumptions, right? So these assumptions shape the way we look at things, shape the way we deal with others, shape the way we understand others. So all these things are basically driven by our assumptions. Fine. Now, what happens is the world is filled through our colored brain processor. So that's what we are going to see here. What is this colored brain, and then what is a colored brain processor? So we will see that. So many of the assumptions are created because, as I said, it is because of the way our brain genetically interprets the world. So we have certain genetic disposition, and that also shapes the way we look at the world. So, and from there we get many assumptions also. So let us see how these assumptions are coming and what is colored brain. So all those things we will see in this next 45 minutes. Right. So in this image, you are seeing some colored glasses, right? Some red color glass, blue color glass, and we also said colored brain communication. So does that mean the brain has got a different color, red color brain? Some of us are having red color brain, some of us are having blue color brain, and so that we may be having this question, but the answer is the brain doesn't have red color, blue color, and all. The color of the brain is, like you see, it's a standard normal color that you would have seen, in the laboratory, in the biological laboratory, or if you had gone on exhibition, you would have seen that. And here also you're seeing the brain. So that's the brain color. The glasses are added just to give a different dimension. So when we say a red color brain or blue color brain, what is it? So we will see one by one. Right. So basically, we have, our brain is a processor, just like we have processors for computers. Intel is a processor, AMD is a processor. So we have NVIDIA, they come out with a processor which is useful for artificial intelligence. So all these are processors. So these processors have got certain capabilities. All these processors are having certain capabilities, and each processor has got a feature. If you go with Intel, it has, and within Intel again you've got many generations, many versions are there. Similarly, AMD. In case you want a processor for doing a lot of graphics, you select a certain processor. If you need to process data, then again you go for another processor. So similarly, our brain is also one of the wonderful processors created by the God. So within this brain, we have different types of processors, and we have classified the brain processing into 4 different ways. So that is what we are going to see in this session as a colored brain communication. When we say colored brain, all these 4 brains, the 4 types of processing, or we can, how are we going to call them? We can call them as processor number 1, 2, 3, 4, or we can give some name to that. But instead of that, we are going to identify them by 4 different colors. So we will be calling them as a green brain, red brain, blue brain, and purple brain. So 4 different colors. So it doesn't mean, as I said earlier, it doesn't mean that the brain has got a red color, brain has got a blue color, but it only means that we are categorizing the brain into 4 different types, and for ease of reference, we are calling them as red color brain, blue color brain. So each color of the brain has got certain characters. So you can also, as I go through each type of brain, you can also understand about your own processor or your own brain, and you can ask questions to yourself. Am I exhibiting these characters? Am I showing these sorts of traits? So you can keep on reflecting as you proceed. And then at the end also, we will see what is the plus point, what is the minus point of each brain. Like that, we can see that. And in between, I'll be happy if you can also interact. You can ask me questions, and feel free to ask questions. So whenever I ask questions, you can either unmute and then answer, or you can also put it in the chat box. Fine. You can also you can put your replies in the chat. So we said 4 different brains, 4 different colors of the brain processing, and we are going to see one by one. And the 4 colors I said, one is the green color, the red color, blue color, and the purple color. So one by one we will see, and we will also see why we are studying this, what is the advantage. So all those things we will be summing up at the end. Fine. And how does this, you would have seen this directive communication and all this in the slides. So this colored brain concept is given by one of the leadership gurus by name Arthur Karmazzi. And he has an institute, he has an organization in Indonesia, in Bali. So that institution is called as Directive Communication International. And this is a psychometric tool. It is not a personality tool. The colored brain is not a personality indicator or personality tool, but it's only a psychometric tool to assess the way we assess our processing. Our brain processing is what we are going to assess through the psychometric tool. Of course, today's session, we are not going to use any psychometric tool. We are only going to give an overview of the processing. Fine. So I said the first color of the processor, or the first color, is the green color. So when we call this green color as a chaotic processing, chaotic means it is not organized. It doesn't, to some extent you may say confused, but it doesn't mean the people with the green brain are confused people. No, it doesn't mean that. But chaotic in the sense, the way.
Sir, you are muted,
Sir.
sir. Viswanathan, sir, you are muted.
Yeah. Now it's okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think suddenly it got muted. Okay, fine. What I said earlier was clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I think in between it has got muted. Okay. Yeah. So the green brain, if you see the diagram here, so the brain is there, and then you are having, you can see the different shapes. You have a triangle, you have a circle, and then there is different shapes are there, and finally you have a bulb. So the bulb in the sense that the way brain is able to find solutions to problems, the way the brain comes out with some sort of ideas. So all this is how it happens is through all this bits and pieces. So it is not a very, very organized way. So basically what they do is the green colored or green brained people, what they do is they pick up some pieces of information and then they connect those pieces, then take some action, and through the action they get some clarity. So basically all the brain processes, they all tell us how does the brain get clarity. Clarity in the sense, if you're somebody is teaching us, how do we get a clarity about the concept? The teacher may try it in different ways. The teacher will first explain, and then some of the teachers may do an experiment so that we can easily understand. Some of the teachers may ask us to do the experiment so that we ourselves will get a hands-on experience. So these are the different ways they make us, the teachers make us to do, or they make us to analyze. And then we feel, oh yeah, this method, I didn't understand when the teacher explained theoretically, but I could understand very nicely when the teacher asked me to do it, or when we explained it in an experiment. So different people say different ways. So for some person, maybe the theory itself may be very interesting. For some other person, if it is done through an experiment, it will be interesting. For some other person, it will be the person himself or herself must do the experiment. Then only the person will get clarity. So same way, the colored brain tells us how individually each of us gets a clarity. So here the green brain, I said, they have bits and pieces of information. They try to connect all those pieces of information, and through that they get into some clarity and they also get into some action. So some of the essential characters of the green brain. So if you're, let's see one by one. So for green brain, number one, nothing is connected. So nothing is connected means, so earlier I showed you this diagram, correct? So here you don't have any connection. There is one piece here, another piece here, another piece. So these pieces are not connected. So how does the green brain person then get clarity? For these people, the second thing, they must act to understand. They must take some action, then only they will be able to understand the concept. So they have to act. Without acting, they will not be able to understand. So the third thing is they see the big picture. So unlike the minor details and all, the green brain people, they look at the big picture. So they're able to look at the larger picture, but they are not bothered about the finer details, the fine print and all, they are not concerned. So they only look at the big picture. Now, because they are working with bits and pieces of information, and then we already saw nothing is connected. So they try to act and then understand. So for example, they have to do an action. They have to prepare a project. So what they do normally, if for a project, somebody has to work on a project, then the standard procedure people will follow is, first of all, they will ask questions about the project, and then they will get all the details before they proceed with the project. But for the green brain, they will take some information. They will not get the full information, some bits and pieces of information, and then immediately they will try to take some action. So if it is a project, let's say for arranging a company get together. So company get together normally for somebody who is very, very organized. So they will ask all the questions. They will conduct meeting after meeting, collect so many details, and then they will try to think about planning and all those things. But for green brain, they will ask some details and then immediately take some action. So they will take step one, they will take, and then step two, step three, like that, they will take some steps towards organizing the tour or the get together. So during the process, they may find that things are not going correctly. Some of them, they made some mistakes. So immediately they will find alternatives. That's the fourth point which we are seeing. So they will look at alternatives because the original plan is not working. They will not get bothered. They will not get bogged down also. So they'll quickly get up and, okay, this didn't work well. So let me look at another alternative. So they will look at alternatives. If that alternative didn't work, again, they'll go to one more alternative. Like this, they'll keep on experimenting, trial and error. But the key word is the actions. So they have bits and pieces of information. Nothing is connected. But how do they get clarity? They take one step and then take some action, then the next step, some more action, third step, fourth step, fifth step, and then finally they make some mistakes on the way, and finally they are able to reach the destination, maybe through many attempts. And when they were working, they only had the big picture of the get together. In this example, what we saw, they knew that they imagined that yes, we have to have the get together on this date, but all those final details and all, they were not doing it. So they were only finding it out on the go. So today, what we call it as an agile projects, what we say. No, so agile projects, we are trying to get feedback and then trying to improve on that. So it's almost a very similar way the green brain people will work. So they find the alternatives. So these are the main things. So if we need to have to go slightly deeper about the green brain, so they see the big picture. And how do they process the information? They process the information, the green brain, they process the information in a non-linear. Non-linear means they don't go step by step. So in random chunks, they take one piece from one side and then suddenly they go to another information they take from somebody else. So totally not connected. Okay, so random chunks, but they focus only on one situation at a time. They are not looking at connecting all those things at the same time. They take one thing and then the second piece of information, third piece. So like this, they proceed. That's how they progress. And then they are driven by action. So that's what I said. What matters to them most is the action. So they have to act. Only if they act, they will get clarity. Like the early example where I said, the teacher is explaining the concept for the student. If the student is a green brain person, that student must do the experiment, then only the student will get the clarity. If the student is a green brain person, so the person must act to gain clarity. And by when he goes into the action mode, then he finds, okay, this is not working. This is not working. For example, let me give another example. Somebody, maybe a housewife who is a green brained person. So for this person, if you are having a recipe, so normally these people, generally people, how do they prepare a dish? So they collect lots of information. They go to YouTube, they go to Instagram, and then, or maybe they may read some books, lots of details, and then only they try the recipe. But in case the housewife or the person who is cooking is a green brain person, they will, maybe somebody says, okay, you can try this dish. Immediately they'll buy a few materials, they'll start preparing. Okay, and then only they will not even go through the full recipe. Maybe the first 2 steps, 3 steps, and then they straight away switch on the stove and then pour the oil and then they start mixing the ingredients and then start working on the dish. And in between they find, okay, the manual says, or the video, the instruction video says, now you should attain a golden brown color. So the person is not getting the golden brown, then he's okay, no problem. Let me adjust. So he fine tunes the flame or the temperature of the stove. So gradually, by action and action, they get the recipe, and then maybe 1 or 2 times the dish would have got spoiled, but doesn't matter. They are quickly able to get some more into action mode. And finally, of course, they complete the dish. So this is how exactly the green brain functions. So you can see the third point, which is they are very creative. So they try forward thinking and quick at problem solving. If something goes wrong, they are not worried. Okay, I'll solve this. So they prefer exchanging ideas and brainstorming. So they are not worried about asking people. They are not shy about talking to people and then asking them ideas, brainstorming. So they ask me, tell me what I can do. I tried this dish, it was not working out, or I tried this product in my company, it's not working out. Tell me what I can do. So like this, these people they prefer to talk to people, exchange ideas, and then brainstorm. And the thing is, they tend to overlook the details. So they are not very much concerned about the finer or the detailed picture. They are not so concerned. So they tend to overlook them. So they provide some general explanations. So if you are, if you look at a green brain, you can see them looking or maybe appearing very impatient. Impatient in the sense because they want to do one thing, then next action, next action. So they'll be very looks very energetic but impatient at the same time, and their focus will be shifting very rapidly. Maybe they're doing something right now, then immediately next job, like that. Very frequently they are shifting their focus. And then the last one, if you see, they are motivated to complete things quickly. So they want to do the things very fast. And if you ask them to follow or ask them to go through a system, if you ask them to follow all the, go through all the details and then do, they will not be good at it. So they want to do things quickly. They want to get into action mode, and then they want to try, and then even if a few mistakes are going to happen, they're not worried. So this is how the green brain tries to work. Now, the question to you is, how many of you think the green brain has got certain advantages? And how many of you think the green brain has got certain disadvantages? So you can say anything. If you feel that the green brain has got certain advantages, you can share that. If you feel it has got some disadvantages also, you can share. Any of you can share your thoughts. You can unmute and then say, what do you think?
Anybody interested can ask the questions.
Yeah. Any of you can share about the advantage of the green brain person, or you think no, this is not an advantage, it's a disadvantage. Whatever you feel, you can share.
Sir, you can continue, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay, but I would maybe if you have a notebook, you can just note down, and then maybe at the end we will come back to that. Okay, fine. So this is about the green brain, and then there is a movie in Tamil where there is a comedian by name Vadivel, and he's a very popular comedian. So in that movie, what this person will do is he will take a loan for digging a well. He will take a loan for digging a well, and he actually doesn't dig a well. The loan is sanctioned, but the typical people, what he does is he gives some bribe to the government official, and then the official says, okay, if you bribe me, nobody will come for inspection. The loan will be sanctioned. So he gives the bribe. He gets a certificate saying that this person has completed the well, so he's eligible for the loan. So he gets the loan also. Now, after some time, so you can understand that this person has taken a loan for digging a well, but there is no well. He has not constructed any well. Now, another team from maybe the vigilance team, they are coming, and then they want to find out whether people who took loan, they actually they dug the wells. So when they come to Vadivel, when he understands that the people are going to come for this vigilance audit, so he immediately gets angry. No, I have given money to somebody and I have got a certificate. Now this somebody else is coming and then asking me whether I have completed a well. So he says, he directly goes to the police station and gives a complaint. He says, my well is missing. So all the police are all baffled. How can somebody complain about a well missing? You can say some gold is missing, some money is missing, some articles are missing. But this is the first time the policeman says, first time I'm hearing that somebody is saying that the well is missing. But Vadivel, this comedy, what he does is he says, I have a proof. I have a certificate with me saying that I have completed the well. So how can somebody ask me a question? So the police come and then they see, and he tells that where was the well? He says, showing this area. He's explaining to them. In this picture, you can see he explains to them and saying that this is where I completed the well, and this well was so full of water. People from the one side of this area, they used to come and then they used to water the entire trees in their village from my well only, and the other side people also, they also used to water hundreds of trees. they all use the water, something like this he says, and the policemen, they are really confused and then they run away. So that's the story here. But the approach, if you see, of this comedian Vadivelu is basically he follows the green brain. So green brain people, something they quickly jump into action, they get a certificate, and then they take the money. Now there is a problem. So when the problem comes, they are not worried. They again quickly, creatively, they find the solution, and then this is how they keep on moving. Right. So next we'll move on to the second brain, which is the red brain, which we call it as a linear processing. The first brain we called it as a chaotic processing. Now the second brain we call it as a linear processing, and that is what is a red brain. So here, when we say linear, it is a step-by-step process. So you can see in this picture. So you got first, there are 3 blocks are there, and then those 3 blocks get added up, and we get 2 more blocks, and those 2 blocks get added up, and 1 bigger block happens, and then finally the light. So the light bulb moment happens. So here, what it means is, people with the green brain, they follow a step-by-step approach. They follow a very structured approach, unlike the red brain. So unlike the green brain, where we saw they are not so structured. They take some pieces of information, they act, and then judging the results of the action, they try to formulate their further course of action. But the red brain, they go in a very, very step by step. That is what they want to do. So very structured way. So red brain, what are the characters? So the number one thing is, anything they want to do, they need clarity. So without clarity, they will not be able to proceed. So again, you can compare with the green brain. The green brain, even without, so the example, the same example, if you take the person who is cooking, let's say the person is a red brain person. Before making the dish with the recipe, these people, they want complete clarity. So they have to have complete clarity. If it is a sweet, they need to know how to prepare this, what is the recipe, and then what materials they need, why I should follow this approach. Everything they need to have clarity. So they need to be very objective and logical. Logical means, suppose it says add some cashew, then immediately they will ask, why should I add cashew? Or if it says add 2 almonds, again they will say, why should I add 2 almonds? Why not 3? So like this, they will ask questions, and then only when they get the answer, they will be convinced. So they have to be very, very logical. And I said, they follow a step-by-step approach, and they think through the issues before speaking or acting. So before they act, unlike the green brain, they jump into action, whereas the red brain, they think, and then they think, okay, if I do this, what will happen? If I say this, what will happen? So they think, and then only they either speak or act. And we saw earlier in the diagram that they find a structure. So like 3, 2, 1, like this, they will find the structure, and through that structure only they will proceed. So they need to have a very, very structured way of working. So somebody in your office, if this person is a red brain person, this person will be, any job that you give to this person, first question the person will be asking, okay, tell me more about this. And then why do you ask me to do this job? And can I do it in a different way? So all these questions they will ask, and then only when they are convinced that they can do the job, they will proceed with the work. And when they do that also, they will proceed in a very structured way. Okay, so that is what is the red brain. So again, to going slightly deeper into red brain, you will find that we said that they need structure, they need clarity, they need logic, and they process. How do they process information? Step by step. And then they also check with the facts before acting. Let's say there is a WhatsApp information today. What we do immediately, it says this is a very important announcement. Please forward it to 10 people. Maybe the green brain maybe quickly trying to forward it, but the red brain, first of all, the first question the red brain will ask is it a reliable information? Is it an authentic information? So they will cross-reference. They will cross-check the facts before forwarding it to somebody. So very objective, very logical. So they are objective, very precise, and in communication they are not bothered about whom they are communicating. So whether X or Y doesn't matter. So they only are bothered about the information, and they are very calm. They are calm under stress and reserved emotionally. You can't see them acting very emotional. So they will be very balanced because they are trying to balance their emotions. And we saw that they think through the issues very thoroughly. And any problems, if they find there is a problem, quickly they will catch them. So if you are giving them some project, immediately they will say, this project I'm finding 1, 2, 3 these areas there are problems. So these problems we have to find a way out before we do this. So like that, they will find out the problems in that approach. And so they'll be very quick to catch those discrepancies. And they are also good in planning for the long term rather than short term. They will plan for the long term, and they prefer well-defined systems. So suddenly, if you ask, just like the green brain, if you ask them to do something very fast, and then you ask them to change, you're telling them that yesterday you told them something, today you say no, change this. Tomorrow you're coming and saying no, change this. They will resist because they want to go in a very structured way. If you're saying one thing yesterday, is another thing today, one more thing tomorrow, they will find it very uncomfortable. So they will resist the change, and it has to align with their value system. Then only they'll be comfortable. And you may look at the red brain people as though they are inflexible or insensitive. But the thing is, they are not, personally, there is nothing wrong with them, but because their focus is on logic and structure rather than emotions. Okay, that is the red brain. So we saw two brains. We saw one is the green brain. Green brain has got, I asked you to find out some plus and minus. Green brain definitely has got certain plus points, certain minus points. We will come to that later on. Similarly, red also has got certain advantages, certain disadvantages. Okay. Now there is a Hollywood actor by name Will Smith. So he has given one of the videos in the YouTube. Is a very popular video, and he says his father, when he was a child, he says, I learned a very powerful lesson in my life. And he gives the example of when they were children, his father, Will Smith, maybe he was somewhere around 10 years or 12 years old, small children, he and his brother, and they had a shop. His father had a shop, and in front of the shop, they had a compound wall. So one fine day, the father called the two brothers, and he said, he asked both of them to demolish that wall, that wall in front of the shop, and he said, now we are going to construct a new wall. So he didn't understand why father is asking, and because it's a father, they both of them said, okay, father, okay, dad, we will do that. So they all demolished the wall, and then they dug the foundation. They dug a pit for the foundation, and then they started building the new compound wall. And for that, they built the compound wall brick by brick. First brick, then the second brick, then next brick, like that, slowly, step by step. The compound wall was coming up. The two children, with the help of the father, and slowly they were building it up. And one fine day, they were seeing a new compound wall. So Will Smith says, this was a very powerful lesson for me because what was a lesson that my father was trying to convey to me was that in life, you have to go step by step. You can't jump from first step to the third step. So you have to start from the foundation. The foundation has to be strong. Only with the foundation is strong, your compound wall will be strong. And you have to build the compound wall brick by brick, step by step. So that was the whole lesson that my father was trying to drive into me. And I learned a very powerful lesson. That's what Will Smith says. So you can relate this to the red brain. So it is quite likely, perhaps Will Smith's father was a red brain person. So he wanted to send the message that you have to go step by step. So typically of the green brain person. Now comes the third brain, which is the blue brain. So when we say blue brain, we call it as an intuitive processing, or you can also call intuitive means that these people have gut feeling. So something will happen. So they think with emotions, and through that they act. So you can see the lines here. Earlier we saw for the red brain, it was through a logical way, in a very linear way. Here they've got long lines. There is a line here from the brain, it goes a long lines and then some parallel lines. So what it means is that they think more through intuitions, emotions, feelings. So that is how the blue brain will process the information. It is not logical. It is quite unlike the green brain also. They don't tend to act in a very, with minimum information, they don't act. But if they have to act, they have to be convinced internally, they have to be convinced, or they have to be, their feelings must tell them that yes, this will work. Then only they will proceed with the job. So for the blue brain, everything is connected. So they find some connections, like you see in this diagram. So they find some connections with many things. So they will say, if you, for a project, if you ask them to do, they will say, this person, in combination with another person, in combination with the third person, they will be able to do well. So how do they combine? So it is all through their internal brain processing. They combine, they connect. So everything is connected for them, and they are able to, the environment is very important for them. They are able to feel the environment. So it really matters. So for blue-brained people to function to the best of their ability, then they should have a very good atmosphere or environment in the office. If the office is very good, the office environment means it is not only the physical environment, but the psychological safety also they have. They enjoy the workplace, then they'll be able to do a very good job. Intuitive. So whatever they decide, if you ask them, how did you say? I don't know, but I think, I feel like this is how they will say. Intuitive. And then very often their decisions will be emotional. So they are very easily, upset, or very easily triggered by emotions. And another plus point with the blue brain is they are able to do multitasking. So generally we find women doing many jobs at a time. So any blue brain person will be also able to do this multitasking. So doing more than one task at the same time. So again, slightly deeper, if you see the blue brain, they process and communicate through associations. So they have a set of things and then they link that, and then through that they process the information through their own perceptions. So what through their lens or through their perceptions and intuition, they connect all the experiences. They will say, this happened, something today it happens, and immediately they'll say, this same thing happened to me 20 years ago, or it happened to me 50 years ago, something like that. They'll be able to connect all the emotional things through their experiences. And then they achieve clarity only through reflection. So they have to ask themselves, will it work? Will it work? It is not logic like the red brain or action like the green brain, but for them, it is, for the blue brain, it is reflection. They have to reflect themselves, and then they reference it to the past experience. Something similar, did it work in the past? They will ask these questions. They'll be quick to act, but they look for continuous feedback from the people. And then they're very empathetic and sensitive to others. So they consider relationships and personal connections are very important. So for them, being people connected is very important. They have to be with people. They are empathetic. We said they are multitaskers. They are flexible. They are able to adapt to the situations. Okay. But one thing is, negative emotions they try to internalize. So something they will keep it within themselves, and something goes wrong, they think it is because of them. They maybe it is actually not, they may have nothing to do with that, but they will feel that, oh, maybe maybe there is somebody who is struggling on the street. So they may think that maybe if I had helped this person, he would not be begging in the street today. So something like that, they'll be bothered with these emotions. So they communicate very deeply within themselves, and they are often very expressive. Okay, this is the blue brain. Then purple brain is the last brain. So purple brain, you can see here, lots of connections. So they have lots of blocks are there and all the blocks are connected. And then again, those blocks are interconnected. And finally, you have that bulb is glowing. So what it means is for the purple brain, they must have lots of information. Unlike the red brain, so you may red and purple may look similar, but red they need logic, but in the purple brain, they need so much of information. And all this information they will connect and then only they will take action. So for them, all the data they will link it. They will not decide if suppose you give them a project, they will ask lot of details. They will ask details, then they will go to internet and then ask, they may check with ChatGPT, then they may check with Gemini, and then they may also check with Perplexity. So all these sites they will check, then they will ask many people. So lots of details they will collect, and then after that they will find a system. But before that also they must know if option A fails, what is option B? If option B fails, what is option C? So all those things also they will decide before they launch the system. So everything is very, very planned. So that is the purple brain. So purple brain also some plus, some minus. We will see at the end what are the plus and minus. So purple brain requires a lot of information. We saw that. And then before they act, so everything. So they need to, for the task, time, people, everything they are interconnecting in their thinking, but they need all the details. So stability is very important for them. Stability and lots of information. So with minimum information, if you ask them to do, they'll find it very, very difficult. Okay, so in which roles they'll be very good? In operational roles, system development. You ask them to develop a new system. All these areas, strategic planning, long-term planning. So if you give them time, yes, they'll be able to come up with a very good system. So they're very, very meticulous, pays meticulous attention to the details, and then they prefer following the rules, unlike the green brain. So they follow the rules and then they need time. So one main thing is they need time. The fourth point, what we see is, you will look at them as though they're very slow because they are collecting a lot of information. So very slow to act, or you may look at them as too detailed. So they are looking at so much of details. So if you observe them, you may find them very reserved because for them system is more important than emotions. So they want a very pakka system rather than emotions. Okay, so where they are quite suited in planning, systems development, operational improvements. So these are the areas where the purple brain will be very good. So we saw different types of brains. We saw certain plus points, minus points. We said there are different plus and minuses. So now some case studies. One of the purple brain, I'll give a simple example where I'll go back to this drawing where all this information is there. One of the company's managing director, he had a problem with the IT system in his company. So what he did is he wanted to select somebody from the industry, and then he wanted to introduce a new system. So he recruited a person whom he thought was very good in IT. So he said he was ready to pay the new IT guy a lot of money, almost twice the salary that he was drawing. And he was given an agenda. What is the agenda? That you have to completely restructure and revamp our IT system in our existing company. The new person said, okay, no problem, I'll do that. After 1 month of his joining, this MD went to his room and then asked him. So he asked this new person, have you done the revamping? He said, no, sir, I'm working on it. So he was a bit surprised. 1 month work, 1 month this person has joined, and still he says, I'm still studying and I'm working on it. Okay, let us give 1 more month. So second month he came and then asked him, have you done some improvements? No, sir, I'm still collecting the details. I'm working on it. So the MD was getting irritated. He said, okay, I'll give 1 more month. If the third month it doesn't do any work, I will better terminate this person and look for somebody else. So third month, if this person comes back, the MD comes back and comes to this new IT guy's room. And third time when he comes, third month, this person says, have you done something? Yes, sir, I have done something. And he shows file number 1, file number 2, file number 3, and he says, this is how the IT, the marketing department, we have to restructure the IT. This is how the finance department must be revamped. This is how the operational department's IT has to be modified. Like that, for every department, he has got a file, and he gives a, he says, I have stored all of them in the cloud. So all those things he's telling, and this MD was surprised. Last 2 months, no work was done. And suddenly how this person came up with such a good solution? It is because in all these 3 months, the person was collecting the details, but only when everything is there, the person is able to put them into a system, and he is able to come out with a good solution. So basically, the purple brain people, they need time. If you give them time, they'll be able to perform well. So I said every brain has got certain plus, certain minus. So let's see what is the plus point of each brain. So green brain, it's a chaotic or random processing style. What are their key strengths? They have the big picture in their mind. They are creative, and they jump into action very fast. So these are their strength. But what are their challenges, or their the points where they need improvement? They are quite impatient. They want action. So if things are not moving, they will be impatient, and they don't work with all the details. And then very fickle-minded means they do one thing today, then another thing tomorrow. So they keep on changing their goalpost. So these are the plus and minus of the green brain. What about the red brain? Red brain is very linear, structured, we said. What is the strength? They are very logical. They are very precise. They are very objective people. But the drawbacks are they are not very flexible, inflexible, because they want the system to be, they want everything logical. So they don't, they are not very flexible and emotionally detached. They are not very concerned about people. They only want a proper solution. So emotionally they are detached. What about the blue brain? What is their plus point? They are very empathetic. They care for the feelings of people. They are adaptive, and then they have deep connections with their own systems, their own mind with others. So deep connections they establish. That's the plus point. What about the minus point? They try to blame themselves, internalize blame. They're very sensitive, and then they try to blame themselves for other people's problems also. That's their minus point. Purple brain, we call it as a relational brain, connected brain. Their key strength is they're very detail oriented, and if you ask them to build systems, new systems, they're excellent. But their minus points are they're very slow to act. They need time. So they're overly detailed. They need so much of details, and they're quite reserved. So these are the plus and minus. Now you can ask yourself questions. So where am I? Am I green? Am I red? Am I blue? Am I purple? So all these questions you can ask yourself based on the way you have been doing things so far. So some more case study. There was a 5-star hotel where the CEO was a red brain person. He wanted everything in a very organized way, in a very logical way. And there was one of the managers under that person who arranges all the dinners and all, food and beverages manager. This person was a green brain. So every time some big guest came, the green brained F&B manager, he will do some actions immediately because he knows how to do it. So he will not ask the CEO, he will not inform the CEO. So he will do something, and then more of action oriented. And at the end, every time some guest comes, there will be a clash between the CEO and this manager, the green brain manager. So there were a lot of quarrels. And one day they attended this program, and in the morning session, the CEO attended, and he understood that he belongs to the red brain. That's why he needs logic. Whereas the second session, the F&B manager, who was a green brain person, she attended and she understood, okay, so I'm a green brain. That's why I don't communicate that much, or I jump into action. So then they decided they will work together, and then anything the F&B manager does, she will go and communicate to the CEO. CEO also said, okay, now I know that you will do many things. So I will give a broad framework, and then ask me if you have any doubts, please ask me, like that. So they change their way of working by understanding each other's things. Another case study, this is actually when we did this program in Indonesia, we had a very live case study where we went and asked the people there, are they having some problems? So we wanted to find out their brain colors through an experiment. So when we walked in the street, one couple, they were sitting on the stone bench outside a shop, and then when we talked to them about their brain colors and all, they didn't understand, but this is okay. You can ask us questions and we will answer. So we asked them questions, and then we told the husband that your husband, we told the both of them that we told the husband that you are a green brain, and we told the wife, ma'am, you are a red brain person. They asked what is the meaning. So we said the red brain person, sorry, the husband is a green brain, so he will always take some actions. Today one thing, tomorrow one thing, like that. Lots of actions, so many changes he'll be making. But for you, everything you do must be very logical. That's how you tend to act. Then the moment we said that, they both, there was a sparkle in their eyes. They said, just now before you came, we were both quarreling because we came on a tour to Indonesia, but tomorrow he says we'll go to Australia. The next week he says go to some other place. So something every now and then he's changing the plan. I couldn't understand. But now only I know because he's a green brain, he is doing all these things. And I am not able to accept the change because I'm a red brain. So that they immediately brought a huge change in their life. Now, how do we find what brain we have? So you have to ask these questions. How do you develop ideas? So do you develop ideas? And then some ideas you jump into action. Maybe you're a green brain. If you are looking for the ideas with a lot of details, maybe you're a purple brain. Or if you're connected emotionally, maybe you're a purple brain, maybe you're a blue brain, right? So, or if you look into logic and objective way, you may be a red brain. How do you approach a new project? And what misunderstandings do you have about others? These are the questions you should ask to find out about your own brain color. So if you look at this, so for one person on the left-hand side, it looks like a 6. For the other person, it looks like a 9. So both of them are right. So same way, we think if we are a green brain person, we may think of the other brained people as not very logical or very different from us. Similarly, the red brain person may look at a green brain differently, but everybody has got their strength and minuses. So when we understand all this, what do we understand is we understand what is our core strength. So everything has a plus and a minus. We are able to understand our own core strength. We are also able to understand others. And when we understand others, we are able to handle the emotions in a better way. We have less stress, and then we are able to develop better relationships, especially in teams and offices. We understand people, understand their strengths, and then we are able to build teams effectively. So we have more professional success and also personal success, right? So with this, we come to the end of the session. So as introduced, my name is Viswanathan. So any questions you have, you can ask me now on this topic. Whatever doubts you have, you can feel free to share.
Dear participants, is there any questions?
Sir, this is Shanmunathan from Beata,
Yes.
India.
Yes, sir. Please.
Very interesting session. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I don't have much doubt, but as you said, grain building advantages. I feel disadvantage could be the emotional situation. Sometimes they cannot handle the emotional situation. I'm right. It's a disadvantage. I feel.
Which brain?
Green brain will be the
green brain. Yeah. So
emotional situation. Maybe they may fail. This is my perception.
Green brain is basically they are more into actions. So for a green brain person, because they are more action oriented, they are not so much concerned about the emotions and all. Yes, they are just like a bulldozers. They're keeping on.
They
moving.
will pass on to the next. They will pass on to the next and.
Correct. Yes.
That is what my thought. I just want to check whether it is right or not.
Yes.
And
yeah.
as you said,
something happens to them, they'll quickly bounce back. But whereas
Yeah.
a blue brain person or a red
Ah.
brain, for them, because they have done everything systematically, if
Okay.
something happens, they will take time to rebound.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Your point is correct. Yeah, you wanted to add something more?
No, what will be the best brain we have to be?
Okay. Again, very good question. There is no such thing as a best brain. All
Okay.
brains are equally good. There is every
Right.
brain has got a plus and a minus. Why we need to understand this is because in a team, there will be
Yes.
different type of people. We need to understand that there are people with strengths and weaknesses. So that if we are able to complement each other, then we will be a better team. That's the main thing. So there is not, because to just give you one example to this, you have a Porsche car, which is a sports car. Correct?
Okay.
A sports car. And advantage of that is it will go very fast.
Yes.
Whereas if it goes from Chennai to Bangalore, it will go in maybe in 3 hours, it will go. Whereas the Alto 800, it may take more time.
Yes.
But on the way, all the places, everything you can see and go. That is the advantage here. But that one is speed. So each has got a plus minus.
Okay.
Sir, good evening. This is Kausilan
Sir,
from
is there
Coimbatore.
any?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tulasi, now then.
Kausilan.
Kaushilan. Yeah, yes, sir. Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is it possible to develop advantage of all these brains together?
Okay. Again, very good question. See, basically, this the brain formation is something to do with the genetic. So when we are born, there is some formation is there. But the second thing is, I said it's just like a processor. Any processor, we are able to use some software and then use it in a better way. Correct? Same way, we also can develop. Suppose we are a green brain, we understand, okay, we tend to do more of action. We can consciously develop certain skills, and then we can we can use the strength of action, and we can also try to build the skills from the other brains also. Yes, you can pick up those skills, but basically what you have to remember is that there is your core brain is there. That is, which is your natural processor. But you can also learn these skills and then adapt. That's also possible. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, is there any other questions? Otherwise, I will call it a day.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all the participants, and thanks to the organizers, Mr. Dayalan, and all the members of Institute of Indian Foundrymen. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.
Okay.
Sir,
Thank you.
actually,
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more announcement. Yeah. Sir, there's the next month also on 4th Friday by 2:30 p.m. we are going to have one more virtual session on the general topic only. So we will inform you suitably at that time, and I request all the participants to come again on the next month. Now, since I request the Chennai chapter secretary, Mr. Raj Mohan Madhyalagan, to come on to the virtual meeting for vote of thanks.
Sir Dayalan, sir, thank you. First and foremost, actually, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guest speaker, Mr. V Viswanathan, for sharing his profound insights and practical wisdom. Your engaging session on understanding emotions through the lens of colored brain theory has left us with new perspectives and to handle every interactions more effectively. I would also like to thank Mr. V Narasimhan, mentor NCST, Mr. C Satyamurthy, co-chairman NCST, and Mr. K Dayalan, chairman of NCST, for the continuous support and making such sessions which is benefit for the audience. Finally, I thank each attendees for joining us today and making this session more meaningful with your active participations. Your curiosity and enthusiasm truly brought the session to life. We look forward to seeing you in other upcoming programs. Until then, take care and let us continue to grow together, both personally and professionally. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you, one and all. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your active participation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir. அவ்வளவுதான் சார். I think it was useful to everyone. I hope. காலையிலே மறந்துட்டேன்.
Sir, shall I leave?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.